The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money, work for them. So basically, this chapter started off with the 9-year-old young man who asked his father, how can he get rich? The reason why he asked him, how can he get rich, is because he lives in a neighborhood where rich kids live. He goes to a school where rich kids attend. It just happened that that's where his house fell. His dad does have a college degree. He does have a good career, so he does get paid good money. However, they're not rich, right? So basically, he asked his dad, how can he get rich? His dad he had no clue, right? Because he wasn't rich. However, he directed him to ask his friend's dad how he can get rich, because his friend's dad had multiple businesses, and basically they have the same banker. So the banker told him, yeah, that he's doing well financially. So bam, he asked him, how can he get rich? So the boy starts to work for his friend's dad, which basically is his second dad. So it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad because he actually has the ability to have access to two dads. One dad is poor, one dad is rich. However, at this young age of 9 years old, nobody is poor or rich. Nobody is actually poor. No one is actually rich at this time. At this time, both fathers are making good money. So they are both, basically living their day-to-day life, working, paying bills and things like that, right? However, both of the dads had a separate point of views, and later when he looked back on the situation at that time, once he looked back, like at 30 or 25 or what have you, he looked back and one dad was clearly rich and one dad was clearly poor, right? So basically some of the differences that the rich dad had was, he was openly discussing money, at the table, whereas the poor dad forbade talking about money over the table, over dinner, or talking about money in any capacity. Whereas the poor dad would say, I can't afford that. The rich dad would say, how can I afford that? Right? How can I afford that? And so it was just different mindsets for each dad. So basically, once he went to the father and he was like, I want to learn how to be rich, right? So his father said, okay, cool. You can work for me for 10 cents an hour for 3 hours on Saturday. And Robert, the one that's writing the book, Robert Kiyosaki, he was basically like, yeah, right. Like, what? I have soccer on Saturday. Like, I got things to do. Like, no. And he was like, well, that's the deal. Either you want it or not, take it or leave it. So he took the deal. He went ahead and, sacrificed his soccer to basically learn how to get rich. So he volunteered his time. Well, not volunteer his time, because he got 10 cents an hour, which is basically still nothing. This was in the 1900s, like the mid 1900s. However, 10 cents it still wasn't nothing. He still could barely only buy a comic book at the end of the week or the end of the day or whatever. So anyway, he agreed. They worked really, really hard for the 10 cents for 3 hours for about 3 weeks. By this time, he was like angry. He was like, I'm about to quit because this is bull crap. I'm not learning how to be rich by doing this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. His poor dad is hyping him up, talking about, that's child labor. You should at least be getting 25 cents an hour and like, you're being a slave. Like, this is not cool. Like, you need to get out of this arrangement. It's not good. So he storms over there to talk to the rich dad, which, like I said, it's not rich yet. And basically his goal was to quit. So he went in there and he was like, basically you're overworking me, you're underpaying, you're a crook, you're, greedy, blah, 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 all the stuff that people say about rich people. And basically he just was like, this is how people feel after working, after they get their checks at the end of the week. This is how they feel because they feel like the work that they perform wasn't worth the money that they got for it. However, people get stuck and they get addicted to collecting the money, so they continue to do it. They become in a fear greed cycle. So basically he was just, start teaching the little boy different lessons about how adults get stuck in a trap and a rat race of trying to get money. And he was just explaining how money doesn't let me see, how can I say this? Money rich people don't work for money. Only middle class and poor people work for money. So basically his lesson was to teach him that this is how it feels to be an employee. You don't want to be an employee. So at the end of the conversation, basically he said, if you want to continue to work for me, you'll work for nothing. And I'll continue to teach you the lessons that you need to know to be rich. So the boy was mad because he was like, he thought he was going there to quit because he wasn't going to pay enough. And now he left even worse off because now he's not getting any money at all. So fast forward to the end of this chapter. That's just the first chapter. We're going to go ahead and break these down chapter by chapter, right? And so at the end of the chapter, basically 3 weeks went by. They was working every single Saturday for 3 hours for nothing. And the dad came and picked them up at the end of the 3 weeks, like their third Saturday that they work, and took them to the baseball game, bought them ice cream, and just was talking to them about how they was able to control their emotions and work without getting paid. And that's a good sign. So basically he was like, I'll give you guys a raise. You guys could get $25, 25 cents an hour. Or then he was like $1 an hour or $5 an hour. But basically he was saying, in exchange of giving you this money for an hour, you won't learn how to be rich. So which one are you guys going to choose? So the little boys was able to like keep their composure and not take that deal. They was able to hold their emotions, right? So it allowed him to teach them another lesson, that people are working for money because they're unable to control their emotions. So if you're able to control your emotions and not get stuck in the rat race or the ability of working for a paycheck, waking up in the morning every single morning just to get a paycheck that's still not covering your bills, then if you're not able to like harness and master yourself and master that emotion that controls you to go get a paycheck, then you're not ever able to be rich. So it was a really valuable lesson. It was a really, really dope chapter. I think that this chapter is amazing. If you don't got the book, go get the book. If you're not a reader, then just stay tuned with your girl. We're going to do every single chapter, and the goal is to do 12 books this year. We're going to do 12 books this year. I already did a few over on my Instagram page. If you're not following me there, go ahead and go follow me there. But yeah, that's it. So that's chapter 1. Let me see if there's anything that I want to just like make sure I want to like end with. I am going to do some reels on this chapter just to give you guys some of the juice that I left out, because it is a really big chapter. It's like 62 pages. So basically I decided to do it this way because I was reading verbatim one page by page on the other books, but this book is just entirely too long. So I decided to go ahead and do it a little different because we got to get it done. So this book is 351 pages. Okay, so this is the part that I'm going to read verbatim for you guys. And make sure you give your girl a like, because it don't cost you nothing. Share this chapter if you feel like you learned something from it. And comment something that you learned in the comment section. Okay, so here we go. So that's correct, said Rich Dad. Instead of admitting the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings and fail to think. They feel the fear, so they go to work hoping that money will soothe the fear, but it doesn't. It continues to haunt them, and they return to work, hoping again that the money will calm their fears, and again it doesn't. Fear keeps them in the trap of working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up, and that old fear wakes with them. For millions of people, that old fear keeps them awake all night, causing a night of turmoil and worry. And so they get up and go to work, hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear at their soul. Money is running their lives, and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Money is in control of their emotions and their soul. So bam, that was just them sitting down at one of the tables talking about the lesson at the end of the 3 weeks. So yeah, like, is money controlling you? Is money controlling you? Because the first lesson, he's going to go over 9 lessons in this book. And the first lesson is that poor people work for money and rich people make money work for them. So what are you doing to make your money work for you? If you like this chapter, please share with a friend. If you want to keep updated on this book and each chapter by chapter, go ahead and follow your girl. Other than that, thanks for tuning in and have a great day. Bye for now.